Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. As always, MattyBets here, BigAL Bettor. It's Beat the Book. You guys know why you're here. We got more playoff football for you guys. We're starting off Sunday hot. We got Broncos at Bills. Oh man, it should be a banger. Should be a great game. I think it'll be pretty high scoring, but we'll see. What do you say, Big Al? How you doing?
I'm doing good, Matt. We got Broncos taking on the Bills. The spread's 8.5. Broncos are the underdog. Not surprising. The Bills, they've had an incredible season. They lost 3 games all year, 14-3.
Yep.
That is a pretty incredible record. The over under for this game is set at 47.5, which is fairly high. Not the highest of the week, but it is one of the highest of the week. Um, Obviously, the Bills are coming off a bunch of great games without losing. They just played the Patriots. Did they lose that game to the Patriots?
I
The final
believe,
game of
I
the year?
believe they won that game. No, they did lose. Patriots did win.
Yeah, so that was their third loss, and then you've got the Broncos who had that 38-0 victory over the Chiefs, who were resting all their starters. So Broncos are coming in pretty hot. The Bills, they didn't start anybody, so it's like they're still hot. We know what the Bills are. So um, no, coming into this game, it should be one of the better ones. I mean, they're all going to be great. Talking about this the last couple of videos, and you and I were talking off camera too. It's like all these games are going to be great. There's not really a bad one in the batch. The worst one, if you wanted to like decipher through them, potentially is Ravens Steelers, but that's still a banger just because they're division rivals. You know what I mean? But that one has I think the biggest potential to be kind of a dud, but that one should still be awesome. So it's like we don't have any bad games on this slate. But back to this one, Broncos plus 8.5, Bills minus 8.5. I'm going to be on the Broncos here plus 8.5. It feels like a touch too many points. I think the Bills probably still win the game, but I think it's closer to a field goal or a touchdown than it is to almost 9 points. As far as the over under, the Bills have been averaging 52 points total in their games this season, so them and their opponent. The Broncos have been at 43, but the Broncos had a couple low scoring games earlier on in the season. Uh, so I like the over here. I just think the Bills are going to probably score 40 or high 30s on their own. And if the Broncos can keep pace with them, which I think they will, then we're in tune for an over. I think this game could actually end up getting closer to like 55, 60 points. So that's my lean here is the plus 8.5 with the Broncos, and I'm on the over 47.5.
Okay. Over on my book, BetMGM. You're obviously on DraftKings. As you guys know by now, I switch kind of like halfway through the season just for the primetime games and stuff like that. But over on BetMGM, you're getting 9, so you'd like that a little bit more. I mean, it's kind of like the
Okay,
same,
for
but
sure.
no
Yep,
pushing
yep,
with the book, so I
yep.
like that there. I am on the opposite side of you on this one. I like the Broncos defense a
Mm,
lot. It's been a good defense all year. But the Bills, we like you said, we know what the Bills are. The Bills are just an insanely hot team right now. Josh Allen's playing out of his mind. Uh, James Cook is a great running back for them too. Like I don't know, it just
mm,
seems like all the stars have kind of aligned this year. Like I know that Josh Allen always beats Mahomes in the regular season, loses to him in the playoffs, but this is kind of like a year. If everything kind of shakes up the way that like in the Bills' favor, if they can win this game and move on to like the champs game, they might not even have to play the Chiefs. So good chance there
correct.
because it's the number one and the number two seed. So Bills, I mean, they look good to, kind of be able to possibly go all the way without even having to play the Josh Allen killer, if you will. So yeah, and I just think I don't know, like the 9 points, it's a lot. It's a lot of points here,
hmm
and I mean the Broncos are here for a reason, but I'm not taking Sean Payton and the Broncos and a rookie Bo Nix with, I mean, what sporadic weapons all across the board for them. I'd rather take the Bills with true number one in Shakir, great tight end in Dalton Kincaid. You got Josh Allen, you got James Cook, like I already mentioned before. Like this team's just primed for the playoffs. They're ready to go. It's in Buffalo. I like the -9 here on the Bills. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm putting my money. And then
Okay, over under.
yep, as far as the over under, I'm right there with you, lockstep. I do think the Broncos will be able to score points. I just think it'll be too little, too late, and the Bills are just going to run away with it. I think the Bills. I'm pretty sure we saw it. I want to say it was last playoffs. Correct me if I'm wrong. If your memory's that good and you remember, wasn't it last year the first game of the playoffs where they scored like on all 7 drives, or was that a couple, or was
I
that
believe
2 years ago?
no, I believe they played the Steelers in the first round and just destroyed them.
Yeah, they did. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's just they put on a clinic, and I think they're going to do the same thing this week. And yeah, so I don't think the Broncos have a chance here. If the Broncos win, hey, good for the Broncos. I was doubting you guys, but Yeah, I'm definitely on the over though for the points. I like the over 47.5.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're both in lockstep with that one just simply because we know what the Bills are capable of. And like I said, they were averaging 52 points per game for the whole season, like them and their opponents, which is just stupid. And it's like they had 7 straight weeks where they scored over 30 points
Yeah, I mean you can't not take
in the middle
that.
of the season.
I
Like
mean
that's insane.
the
That's
Broncos
just
only have to score
stupid.
18. Like I think
Yep.
the Broncos can do that.
And that's if the Bills just hold at 30, which they're probably not gonna.
Yeah, no, if they're up by 14 to 21, hey, it's the playoffs. We're not pulling the starters.
Right. Right. Run it
Hmm.
up.
Yeah, exactly. Run it up. Yeah. So,
Right.
all right. Well, I mean, that's what we got for the picks, of the game, the spread, the over under, 4 pick parlays.
Yes, sir. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so mine is it's a very conservative one. It's not anything crazy. I know the last one I had was plus 1900. This one's just a simple plus 700. It's nice and it's nice and easy. Okay, we got Cortland Sutton 60 plus receiving yards. It's a playoff game. He's kind of the guy out there. I got uh, Amari Cooper 25 receiving yards. That's his line. It's not a big deal. I was like, I couldn't believe his line was that low. I was like, give me Amari Cooper 25 receiving yards. I got Bo Nix 25 plus rushing yards. He's done that in 3 of the last 4 games, and the fourth game he got to 23. So the last 4 games, the minimum he's been at is 23, and in 3 of those 4 he went over. So I like that a lot. And then I got Josh Allen to throw 2 touchdowns. He's done that in over half his games this season, so I feel really good about it. This thing pays out plus 700.
Nice. I like that. Plus 700 on there. I was really worried you weren't going to take a Josh Allen stat there or a Josh
No,
Allen
no, come
prop.
on, come on. I almost took Josh Allen rushing yards, but then when I was looking at it, he's been kind of inconsistent. Like he'll have games where he has 40 and 50 and 80, and then games where he has 2 or 4. And
Yeah.
so I was like, okay, give me the touchdowns instead, because that was a much more like every other week, 2 touchdowns, then 3, then 2, then 1, then 2, then 2. So the 2 touchdowns felt like the safer thing. And I could have taken his yards, but his yards have actually been kind of lower this year. Like Bo Nix has thrown for more yards and more touchdowns than Josh has.
Yeah. But I mean, in
If
prime
that
time, like,
surprises you.
yeah, no, I'd rather take Bo Nix for the yards there, and I think it's mainly to do with the run game for either team. Like James Cook has been a great rusher, so they don't have to throw the ball as much. And then they also like for the Broncos, Javonte Williams hasn't been that great as a running back. Like
Sure.
he's been good, not great. So I think that's the discrepancy there is why Bo Nix has had to throw. And they've also it's not like they've been up in games all year. It's like they've actually had to come back and score points. So I like that
Right.
there. I will say because you did take the Josh Allen one, I have a stats for the last 2 games last year in the playoffs. Wild card round, 21 of 30, only missed 9 passes, so good there. 203 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Okay.
So, like the stats there. So, he threw 3 touchdowns in the first game. I'd like him to be able to do that again. If not, he'll get 2, and James Cook might have 2. But, I mean, Josh Allen is Josh Allen. He's going to throw 2 in this game, I believe so as well. So, that
Yep.
is the first line for my picks as well. I got Josh
Oh,
Allen over
really?
1.5 passing touchdowns. Then we're going Josh Allen under half an interception. This year
Ooh,
we've
no
seen it
pick.
too. Like Josh Allen is really taking care of the football this year. Last year he didn't throw a pick in the first game, so I'm gonna take that right that there too. And then we got Khalil Shakir anytime touchdown. And then we're taking your Cortland Sutton pick at 60, and we're gonna raise you 15 on that. We're going Cortland Sutton 75 plus, and it
Dang.
pays out a slightly more than yours at plus 900.
Yeah. I'm shocked it's not much more than that.
Well, it's because Shakir's like the third guy on there to get a touchdown. So
Yeah, but like Allen no pick, and then Sutton's got to pay a bunch more.
he doesn't pay a bunch more. It's a little bit more, but it's not a bunch more. Because you got to think about it. It's his line, and then you just
Yeah, but
move
it's
it
still
up 15.
25%. It's 25% more receiving yards than I took him for.
Yeah, but it is what
A
it is.
lot.
I don't know why it doesn't pay more. The Josh Allen 1.5 that is minus money, and then the Josh Allen under a half interception is like maybe plus 100.
That's plus money.
Yeah, that's why I was like, yeah, definitely. Cause it's because
Interesting.
it's because the Broncos defense has been so good all year.
No, I know. I'm just like Shakir had to have been plus money. Allen's plus money. Sutton 75 had to be plus money,
Yeah, and it
and then
came out to
Allen's the only
plus
minus you
900.
have, and so that's so weird. I feel like if
Yeah,
I build that on DraftKings, it pays plus 1200.
yeah, maybe
But
it does.
okay,
Yeah, but that's my
interesting.
four
I
pick
don't
for
I
you
don't
there.
hate it. I don't hate it. Like you're gonna need a big game from Sutton, which he's not incapable of doing. And then yeah, Shakir for a touchdown. That's obviously touchdown scores are shot in dark, if you will. But I like the Allen no pick, even though Denver does have good corners. Obviously, we know they've got Surtain, who's really good.
Yeah, exactly. And that second game too, with Josh Allen when he played against the Chiefs in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously he doesn't play very well against the Chiefs in the playoffs, but he only threw for 186 yards, 26 of 39. Passing wasn't there either, and then only had one touchdown, but still no interceptions. So even on a bad throwing and a bad passing game for him, he still didn't throw a pick. Like Josh Allen
Right.
protects the football in the playoffs.
Well, and he's done a better job this season of protecting the football.
Yeah, exactly. That was my reasoning going for that pick. I saw that there, and I was like, I can take him to not
No,
throw an
I
interception.
love that pick.
Yeah.
I love that pick.
hmm
That's one of that's probably my favorite pick on your board, aside from the two touchdowns, because I also. But all right, let's hop into touchdown scores here, Matt, to close out this one. What do you got for me? I know this is your favorite area of expertise, if you will.
Well, of course it is. I'm gonna go right off the board, right off the bat. We're going with the number one receiver over there for the Broncos. We're going Cortland Sutton, followed by Khalil Shakir, the number one target over there for the Bills. So, unless you want to count the running back, but I mean Shakir's the number one receiver over there. I like Shakir there. Sutton's at plus 160, and then Shakir's over at
Yeah.
plus 225. So, yeah, with what you were saying, like the plus 225 on Shakir, especially in the parlay, it should have paid more, but it didn't. But we take the crookeds with the straights. We'll have to go and browse a couple other books and go check
Sure.
out FanDuel. That'll pay a little bit more, most likely.
Probably.
Yeah, and then we're also going with Dalton Kincaid at plus 240. That's a solid pick right there. Like Dalton Kincaid's had a great year, and I do not believe that Dawson Knox is playing in this game.
I saw him on touchdown scores for DraftKings, so I think he is playing.
Okay. Well, if he is playing, he is a lot farther down because I even looked for a reach play and I was looking for him, couldn't find him on my
Okay.
book on BetMGM. So, but our reach play, Javonte Williams at plus 325. Not really like as juicy of a reach as I normally do, but these are also the playoffs too. So we're kind of just winding it back a little bit. Anything over plus 300, in my opinion, is slightly reaching. It's not like, you're
Mm,
not reaching for the top shelf, but you're getting like, right below the top shelf there. So I like Javonte Williams there. He's the running back for the Broncos. And, I mean, it's probably going to be cold. They're probably going to try to run the ball a ton, kind of, let Bo Nix pick apart the defense at special
sure.
times, but not constantly. So I like Javonte Williams there. I think plus 325 is really good value there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Javante Williams is one of three running backs that they have on that team. It's Javante Williams, Jaleel McCollum, and then Audric Estime is the third guy. So, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna hop into mine. I've got James Cook at minus 135 over on DraftKings. We know who James Cook is. We know what he's about. So I got him. I also have Cortland Sutton like you do over on DraftKings. He's plus 140. Then I have Audric Estime as the running back. He had a touchdown, I believe, last week. So I like him to get in the end zone this week. He's actually plus 390 over on DraftKings. And then I have Amari Cooper at plus 360. I couldn't believe Amari Cooper was plus 360, just like I couldn't believe that his line for yards was only 25. I don't know if Josh just hasn't been thrown to him lately or what, but Amari Cooper's a big time receiver. He's a great route runner. At least he used to be one of the best route runners in the league. So I expect him to get open. It's a big game. It matters. I think Josh is going to find him, and I expect him to kind of have a big game. So the 25 yards I took him for in the parlay seems super easy, and then him to get in the end zone doesn't seem like too much of a stretch either.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. I think it's probably just because he's not like
Focal point.
yeah, he's not the focal point. He hasn't been like super involved heavily in the offense either. Like the first game that he was with the Bills, he had a touchdown. He had like 60
Yep.
receiving yards, 40 receiving yards, something somewhere around there. It was a good day for not the number one receiver. But since then, I think that's probably like his best game on the year. So, yeah, definitely
Mhm.
hasn't been the number one guy over there, or even close to it. But I don't
Okay.
mind that though. That should have been my reach pick right there at plus 360. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and then like I said, you've got Javante at plus 325. I got the third running back, Estime, at plus 390, but he's kind of worked his way into it. And I watched, John Gruden's picks. I've been talking about that throughout the year. And John Gruden has Estime as one of his Gruden grinders. And so I was like, you know what? And since Gruden shouted him out as a Gruden grinder, he has gotten more playing time and he's ended up getting more and more of a workload. So he's had a couple touchdowns on the season. So I like him in a touch. Like he's a big bruiser. So I like them if they get, first and goal to just throw Estime in there and go like bowling pin his way into the end zone.
Okay. Well, anything else? You want to say goodbye to
I
the
think.
fine folks?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This was Broncos Bills. The what third game of the week on Wild Card Weekend?
Third
First game
game.
on Sunday. It's 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Enjoy the game, guys. Those are our picks. Matt, anything else to say?
No, just remember protect the bag, beat the book, have fun doing it, and look good while you win.
Okay. All right. Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom, words to live by, you know?
Right. Right.